Are you ready?
My name is Vanda.
You wake up and you just don't feel ready for your day. You don't feel like you're in a good mood. You don't feel like you're lined up. You feel a little bit tired. You're not sure. These are all feelings. These are all things that come up from either not enough rest or just from the inner calling for a clear mind. What do you do? So, welcome to understanding you and how you feel and how important that is, right? So, understanding who you are being and how you're thinking and how you feel starts to become probably one of the most important ingredients in your first wake up moment that you have. This is what starts your day. When you start your day with a segment intending opportunity to set the day to achieve your goals, to feel good, to be happy, or to get those things done, there is a sense of, what's the word I want to use? Because there are no words for what this feeling is. But it gives you a sense of accomplishment or fulfillment if it is lined up and structured to support a true manifestation. So let's begin by sharing what I'm really talking about. Sometimes we have too many to-do lists, a calendar full of things to do, and a busyness that distorts us from our true calling. And of course, that's going to come forward in waking up tired, busy, with a little bit of too much chaos, or a sense of anxiety, okay, that shows up mid-morning or first thing in the morning because you know there is a knowing that's pulling within you that you're not truly lined up to serve what brings you that fulfillment and that happiness. This is a conversation that gets many people into therapy or on medication. So how do we interrupt this? How do we clear the fog? How do we start our days to get a better understanding or a clearer grip of what really is important? Is the to-do list important? Yes, because it has a sense of accomplishment. If you've put the things down to do on that list, it's because there is a need to have those things accomplished. But what happens when the to-do list has no pause, has no break, has no variant to supporting you lining up with who you are, who you need to be to serve your higher self, and to take care of the emotions and those feelings that are creating an undercurrent within you? What do we do with those things? How do we proceed forward to setting those intentions and those things that matter the most for us? Self-care has become words that are now programmed into our psyche with self-care days, taking care of the self, more self-love, more intentional mental health, well-being, and so forth. So let's take you through the scenario of waking up in the morning, and what do you do? What are those things that matter the most to you? So everybody has a routine, everybody has a way that they wake up, and only you know what that pulse is. Only you know what is needed. But I am going to remind you that as you wake up and you have a certain intentional bandwidth of what is needed from you, it's important for you to connect to your higher self, because if there is anybody that knows your higher good, the purpose of every action and the cause of every effect that has with that is your higher self. And how do you know that? Well, it's going to be through the feelings that you have throughout the day. If you carry on doing your to-do list and the anxiety is just expanding and amplifying itself, or you're waking up and you're really groggy because you know that's going to take you a little bit further nowhere, then it's time to learn to listen to yourself within, not to the voice in your mind. That is not your intuition. Those are not your feelings. Those are thoughts. Sometimes you have to take yourself a step back so that you're able to step into what is needed from you, what is needed for you, and what is needed from you. Those are two very, very, very different things. What is needed from you most of the time is what we need from others so that we feel valued and appreciated. What we need from ourselves is sometimes a moment of stillness so that we're able to truly, truly, truly connect to the wisdom and to the energy and to the vibration that lines up everything naturally. Those things that are called the life force energy that creates worlds, that has no rules of setting the plan in motion of what is really needed, because you know what is needed. Now, of course, I'm being hypothetical, and of course, I'm expanding and exaggerating it today, but am I really? How many of us start our day with knowing how our heart beats, how our blood flows, how our cells work? We have a knowing of that. We also have an understanding that there's a life force energy. So why I'm bringing up this conversation, sometimes it's sounding a little bit convoluted right now, is because I said, well, how are you waking up in the morning? Are you writing a list? Are you not writing a list? Did you set an intention? Did you not set the intention? Of course, sometimes we wake up and we don't set up the intention. And why it gets convoluted is because within ourselves, we have a knowing. If things don't make you happy, you can't expect for the outcome to be a happy outcome. But sometimes it's a stepping stone to getting you into a closer step to what makes you happy. But you have to understand that waking up in the morning not feeling great creates this distortion within you, and those gaps get bigger and bigger, or wider and wider. You not learning to listen to yourself just creates the habit of you not listening to yourself. You not paying attention to what is needed from you just creates more of the habit that your needs are not being valued or heard. And there's the opposite and contrast of that as well, because many times we go onto that side, well, I'm not being heard, and I need to set out boundaries, and I need to go do this because I need to love myself more. You can't love yourself more. You are love. We are spiritual beings, but we are having a physical experience chosen by ourselves. And sometimes those experiences create a distortion between our higher self and the aspect of ourself that has a need to satisfy that to-do list versus to take that step within yourself to hear the calling of your true destiny. We are the creators of our lives, not tomorrow and not just yesterday, but right now. These moments are important because it's in that moment of you waking up in the morning and you saying, I'm grateful for the day, I appreciate the day, or I am going to have a wonderful day, kind of sets the ripple effect and the tone for the very next step. But too often, we're waking up, or we're being called by the alarm, or we're being called by a schedule, or we're being called by an appointment set on that to-do list, on that calendar, that kind of creates a distortion that's already there. The gap's already there. The gap doesn't start from nowhere. Those gaps start from the times that we no longer are stepping inwards or stepping back in towards ourselves so that we're able to hear the importance of what our internal guidance is sharing with us. It is important to look within. Sometimes we have to physically create the ritual of stepping back, of taking a step backwards, so that you're able to see the bigger vision of yourself. So imagine waking up in the morning and going, today I have a clear vision of myself. And before you get out of the bed, you're able to step within yourself or step back just a little bit from the day that is already starting. And you just simply close your eyes. And you have this vision of feeling good. Life is that simple. It gets complicated and convoluted by the feelings and the thoughts and the actions and the needs that we carry to satisfy our to-do lists, our obligations, our schedules, our desires, or simply, limited manifestations. When I say limited manifestations, meaning that they are controlled manifestations, things that we have to do. I have to get that car, I have to get that house, I have to get that job, I have to go there, I have to do that. Those are very controlled manifestations. They're not natural manifestations, right? So it's just you being in observance and allowing yourself to see, what is my true feeling about today? How many of you know the day you're going to have before you actually leave the home? We know. You kind of have a feeling about it. But what happens when you're having a feeling, oh, it's not going to be such a good day? Do you carry on having that feeling and you don't interrupt that distortion? Or do you allow the gap to expand and amplify itself so that what you know is now becoming a reality? Because it's in those moments of listening to that feeling, you know what? I don't feel so good today. Why don't I just step back a little bit? Or why don't I just step within or look within? Or just take a moment right now and choose to be in control and choose to manifest a clearer, more flowing day. Because that is what we're here for. At every moment to have that power to choose and to create and co-create and collaborate with what we are doing and creating. So when we look at ourselves and we say, all right, so I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to do this, and that. It's like saying, I'm going to wake up in the morning, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to read a book, I'm going to have a great breakfast, I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee, I'm going to sit down and do my affirmations, I'm going to pray, I'm going to connect to God, I'm going to connect to my higher self, I'm going to call my best friend, I'm going to call my mother, I'm going to call my loved ones. But how many times all those great intentions just slip away because all of a sudden you're caught up in a time constraint? And those Kairos moments are needed to be attended to. They have a time expiration to them. This is why that feeling is so important. And the way you wake up is the way you wake up is the way that you're able to take your day to carry on waking up those moments and waking up those segments with your intentions and not so much what is needed from you. We all have to go and get some groceries, go put some gas in our cars, go pick up something, run an errand. But how many times are you happy-go-lucky to go do those things on those to-do lists? It's your intention. It's the way you are bringing that energy in that makes the energy open up to wake up to something else, so that you can meet the right person at the gas station, or you can have a great thought going on the way to pick up those groceries, or just have a whole different interaction between you and that errand list or that to-do list. So the segment is not about how you're waking up. The segment is, what are you going to do when you wake up? Because that's going to come from a habit. And sometimes you'll pick it up by lunchtime, or sometimes you'll go to bed and go, you know what, I completely forgot about that. But the way you go to bed and the way you wake up makes a difference, right? It makes a difference. So raising your awareness to how you're waking up, raising your awareness to setting an intention to how your day is running, waking up to the ability to pull yourself back, all right, to call yourself inwards, all right, helps you create and strengthen those muscles to raise that vibrational attunement between you and your rays of light. Those are the things that matter. What's the use of having all these long to-do lists and these schedules and calendars full of organized and managed? And I have full respect for my calendars that are absolutely organized, and I value that. I'm a person that values those details, but I also understand that the value of those details are fundamentally important when they are backed up by a vibrational attunement to how you're feeling about each and every appointment. If you're feeling about, or if you're feeling irky about your day, you need to listen to these feelings, because that irkiness could be a whisper from your higher self redirecting your thoughts or redirecting your day just enough for you to create the biggest impact, either for you to meet the person you're wanting to meet the most, or for you to connect to the business that you're supposed to be connecting the most with, or for you to just share a necessary vibrational alignment that's going to bring you good fortune, prosperity, and goodwill, or to just simply clean up anything on your karmic plate. But that irky feeling, being unplugged from, or being ignored, or you getting into the habit of not listening to intuition and listening to the mind's churning, that is not going to help you. That's just going to make you want to create more lists and schedule yourself more, because you're going to wake up feeling unfulfilled, dissatisfied, and out of alignment with yourself. And not that is the danger zone. Those are the moments that truly, truly, truly disempower you. No matter how wealthy you are, no matter what you've accomplished, no matter how successful you've been. Because at the end of the day, if you're not feeling good about anything, what good does those other things bring to you? So I've been asked to just share a little bit about true feelings, when to respond, when to react, where do we go with this? You have to start with now. So I thought the greatest way to explain this to you is how you wake up is pretty strong on the awakening right now, because that's the moment you wake up to a brand new day, to the day that opens up those windows, that gives you a clean slate, that you have the power to choose what you want to do, how you want to do it, how you want to bring it in, and why. So I would have to say, waking up on the right side of the bed is just as powerful as waking up not feeling good, because you have the choice to change that. So the next time you wake up not feeling so good, not waking up with that smile on your face, not carrying that possibility of hope and faith and goodwill in your heart, I hope that you step back. I hope that you pull that right back in and listen within, so that you become the master of your day, and that you start changing that bit by bit and overcome those little opportunities, so that what's on that list is truly lined up to serve you and bring you the ultimate joy and peace and good fortune and blessings that are truly waiting for you. Okay? Wake up good, wake up strong, and just know a little bit of work gives you a mountain of good fortune. All right? Wonderful.
My name is Vanda.